Focus Garage. Today we're going to continue working on the Audi. We're going to continue fixing this. Earlier we found where the boost leak was. Now we're going to go dive into the CV shaft, see what's wrong with it. There's like popping noise coming. Just a little bit of looking at it, I see that booth is ripped. However, I cannot find a replacement for the outer side of the shaft, so we have to reuse the shaft and just replace the booth. And we're going to clean the shaft, the joint, and we're going to pack it with grease, and then just hope that it's not going to make any noises. So it's unfortunate, but nothing we can do about it besides try to fix it. So that's what we're gonna do. So next thing, the first thing actually we did is jack up the car, make sure it's on a jack stand, safe to work on, put the car in gear so it's not gonna roll back, and remove the wheel. These cars had lug bolts instead of lug nuts like most of the cars that I've worked on. So this is the first time I'm ever working on a lug bolt. Well, not many difference between that bolt and nut. I'm not going to get into that. So next step is going to be taking the caliper off and removing the rotor to get to the shaft. I will probably have to remove the axle nut to get it out of the knuckle. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to take you guys with me. I've never done it before. I have done CV replacement, but I have never done CV booth replacement, so this will be the first time. I'm hoping it'll be fairly easy job to do, and let's see if it's going to fix it or not. So we're going to take you guys with us. If I fail, I fail. Oh well, there's nothing I can do about it unless I find the used one with good booth, which is kind of hard because there's not many left. Anyway, and if you guys know any part numbers or anything like that, I can like a different Audi part number, like a different year model or something like that, or the rear one works for the front, please let me know in the comment, and I will probably for permanent fix would be getting that and replacing the shaft. So for now we're going to just clean it. So I'll take you guys with me, show you guys how it's kind of done. So these bolts were all 17 millimeters, and the caliper bolt is also 17 millimeter. So I have a little tool to get back in there and zip those out, and then I'm going to figure out what the spec on the axle nut, and hopefully I have the right nut, right bolt, right socket. That's the word that I'm looking for, and then we'll be able to just pop this out. I'm hoping I don't have to remove anything else. I might have to remove the lower control arm bolt, maybe, or if that's, yeah, that's the lower control arm bolt, to get that axle out of there. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we don't have to do that. So let's get to it. You know how I said I have to remove the caliper and all that stuff? Scratch all that, because that's completely wrong. I forgot how to replace the CV booth. My bad. You put the wheel back on and remove the axle nut. So at least we had to remove the wheel to get that center cap off without damaging it. So I guess that's a plus on our side. But you just want to remove that. Well, not remove it, but loosen that axle nut up when the car is down, so you're not like back driving the transmission and engine and all that stuff. So from there, so yeah, and then you lift the car up and then you start removing stuff. So my bad. So let's continue. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of update what's going on, and you can see that I removed the caliper and rotor. Caliper is sitting right there, and I also managed to remove the, show you guys much better here. I was able to remove the sway bar arm, well, the sway bar that goes in there into the lower control arm. So I have a bushing for that, and I also removed the tie rod. Oops. like you guys can see. Well, the only thing I need to do is just separate the bottom of the lower control arm, and I'll be able to remove the shaft from the location, so I can do the cleanup and re-grease it. It does not look good. I'll show you guys a little bit better actually. Let's see if I can see it. This is all ripped, and this is all ripped, and the bearings does not look good. Maybe I'll be able to remove it and show you guys much better. They look kind of rusty, so I'm hoping it was just this car's been sitting for like a month or so, and it was just inside the garage that got, bad. And I do have a new bushing. These usually go bad, but I also need to get another bushing for the control arm in there. I do not have that, so that'll be the next thing to get. And here's the new booth, and I'll just be putting this back on there, and then hopefully it will not make any noise or destroy itself. The brake caliper, the pads look brand new. They're supposed to be brand new. The previous owner told me that it was recently got a brake job, but someone over torqued it. It was really hard to get all the stuff. I mean, it was hard to get the caliper off, but I was able to get it. So, I mean, even though most stuff are rusty, it still comes off pretty easy. So I'll continue working on it and show you guys what the inside of the bearings look like in the CV shaft. So just to give you guys some update on the Audi CV axle shaft build, I was very disappointed with the axle's condition, because I wasn't disappointed with anyone, just in general, that this axle has been driven without the boot basically on for a long time, where you have the bearings kind of scarred up and you have kind of rusty bearings and all that stuff. So it's not a good CV joint to continue using, re-greasing it, and I can try to fix it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's just a waste of time. So what I did, I looked for a replacement, and unfortunately there is none. But I tried to use something that I thought it would work, was the rear axle CV joint. I'm like, maybe it just, the outer portion is same, but unfortunately the inside, this diameter is not the same, even though this outside cup is same. So like the teeth count and the diameter is correct, but not the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if the interior of this would work with this cup. Like maybe I can save this portion and just put it in here, or vice versa, and see how it goes. I mean, I think the outside is okay. I don't know how bad the inside is, but for sure, like one of the ball bearings that I got out, this is, I don't know if this is good or not. I don't know how to tell, but this is pretty dirty. So that's where I'm at. Kind of thought it would be an easy job, but turning out to be a very, very difficult and tedious. So that's the quick update I got. I will continue pounding on and show you guys what's the solution for this front if your outer joint is gone. I guess this could be done. I could take it to a custom shop or something like that, axle custom shop, and they could just take a look at it and maybe they can redo it. But I like doing stuff because I'm not the smartest person on the planet Earth. I like to torture myself with this kind of tedious job. So there it is. Let's keep pounding on it and see what happens. So I was just going through the car suspension and I noticed that lower control arm was not as tight as I would like to be, and then I found the reason. This bushing over here is all busted compared to this one, and then the ball joint is so easy to move compared to so this is all messed up, and then these comes with this. So those are for the sway bar link bushing. So the other one was okay, but it's brand new, one comes with it, so why not? We're gonna do this, replace these. Yep, the CV booth is on. Cleaned it up, greased it up as much as I can, and just put it back on and see what happens. So this was the overall procedure of how to replace the CV joint slash lower control arm. Even though it wasn't a true DIY video, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach us at Facebook or Instagram, or even here. We're happy to help you guys out and answer any questions that you guys have. Overall, it was very frustrating not be able to find a complete replacement part because how old this car is. So I had to kind of repack and reuse whatever it was there. I'm not really happy about it, but so far it hasn't made any noise or any popping noise or any vibration or anything like that. So I'm just going to call that a slight win currently, but I'm still looking for a replacement part. The part that I found was not correct. It was slightly smaller, so the ball bearings and the casing didn't work, so I just reused whatever was there. So car's all back together. The lower control arm was slightly challenging to install because of the sway bar. I looked everywhere, but I couldn't find any easy way to do it. You just gotta wiggle it in there. You gotta put the sway bar first, I think, if I remember correctly, and then you gotta put it into the where it goes in the chassis, and you just line up the lower ball joint. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, like I said, you guys can reach us at Facebook and Instagram, and also comment below and we'll answer it. And also comment below what you can think about the project so far. Are you guys excited? And please give us a like. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. We do have a lot of good videos out there, and we are currently working on a lot of cool projects. If you guys haven't seen the project about the horses in the back, please check it out. That's another project that we started, even though we have not finished the Audi project yet, but we're working on it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Kudos to all.